telecoms company before I was 30. I worked with people like Google, Yahoo, Microsoft with global sales and marketing programs. So I know a bit about sales and marketing. So I've had some early success. At the moment I have a social enterprise. I give away about 80% of my time for free to people that want to get started in business. And my big goal is to help, by 2020, 1 million people move from thinking about being in business to getting started in their own business for the first time. So that's kind of what I'm on for. And one of the things I love is working with people like this community, people like Ted and Paul. They're really committed to the same types of things that I am. Mentoring Harrow in business, is it still called that? Is all about the same kind of stuff. Local government, there's a lot of great programs out there that want to help people move forward. Just talking as an aside briefly about mentoring, I've been a mentor since I was a teenager, and it's a great thing. One of the things I'm not going to talk at length about, but doing something that's beyond you, beyond your business, social business is what they call it, is a big thing these days. In America, it's about 35% of companies, new founded companies, are social enterprises, and in this country, it's about 5 to 10%. They're not quite sure exactly what it is because there's no really good definition. So there should be, you can do better. All right. So my advice is this. So if has anybody heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. For those of you who don't know it, you can look it up. My cards and flyers and things are just on the desk over there. It's got my pretty picture on, so you should be able to find them. And it's helpful, another networking tip. And you can drop me an email and I'll send you the notes from today, which gives you a bit more detail about Maslow. But essentially at the bottom of this kind of pyramid is our essential needs. So the need to feel safe, the need for food, sex is kind of down there as well. You know, the kind of the basic needs, shelter, warmth, all those kind of things. And that's why when you know it's true, because in the world, when you talk about issues, and all of a sudden someone's safety is at risk, it's a big issue. And then we talk about the ambulance service being cut, that's a big issue. We talk about the NHS and people's health and their lives, it's big issues. People massive things happen when people's lives are in danger. So, but what happens when somebody talks about, I want to talk about my will or something? It's kind of like, it's more at the top of the pyramid, which is kind of self-actualization beyond me, beyond my situation. So people don't have as much attachment to that kind of stuff. Things that are at the bottom of the pyramid is the food industry, which is massive. It always grows, no matter what the recession is. So economics and who you are and the type of business you do and the products you sell are all related to human beings and how they relate to your product and you. And that brings me to the first point, which is about how you pitch. I talked briefly to Zane about when you're pitching, be about them, not about you, because people do not care what you sell, who you are, what you do. They really, really don't care. People care about themselves. This is reality. They care about what my problems are, what you're going to do for me, what my issues are. This is what it's all about. So if you speak to somebody else about their issues, they're much more likely to be receptive, much more likely to listen to you, much more likely to get the result you want. So Zane was saying, do you mind me picking on you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Good. So he was going to the classic thing of, okay, so what do you do, Zane? So I'm an osteopath and I use this type of technique and I do this, and is the technical side of what I deliver. And that's all about Zane and his business and osteo, which I have no interest in. I actually know a bit about it, but I have no interest in it at all, really. But if you started talking to me about, there's a lot of people who have back pain. There's a lot of people who have, issues in their life that, their health might be under threat, and they feel like they can't necessarily spend as much time with their kids, or they can't get their work done, or they can't focus. Wouldn't it be great if my health was not an issue anymore, and I felt alive, invigorated, and excited to be day and get on with it and make some money? That's a great way to start talking to someone. And if they've got those types of issues, that's going to resonate with them, and they're going to, okay, so how does that work, Zane? How do you make that happen? Are you like got some magic pill or, MLM, or what's going on there? What's happening there? So no, it's all good standard practice, osteopathy, etc. So you see where we're going. So being about other people and about their needs is really, really important. So don't be kind of process oriented. Don't be about what you do, but more about what the result that you produce. So that's really important. Another thing is that if you want to be in control of a conversation, you've got to ask questions. So whoever asks the questions has the control. So asking what somebody else does, getting in there first as quickly as possible is one way, but I've got some techniques to get around that as well. But asking people questions, they're really interested in talking about themselves. asking the right questions, they'll give you all the answers to what you're wanting to find out. They'll give you the answers about who they are, about what they're looking for, about what's interesting for them, etc., etc. Now, they might not be a good potential customer, but you can uncover that very quickly, and this is my business side, social enterprise, remember, enterprise. So I'm interested in getting them out of the way. So I talk to someone, if they're absolutely no lead for me whatsoever, I don't want to spend the maximum amount of time with them, because you might be in a networking room with, what, 40 people, and you want to get on to the next person who might be a great opportunity. So you want to get out of them, what's their problem? How do I fit? And if it's not a good fit, that brings to my next point, being other people focused. So I'm actually, even though on a business sense I'm interested in getting that contact out of the way, and is it good or not, that's called qualification. If it isn't good, don't just discard people. That's not the way we work. It's about, okay, so I can't help you. I really hear what you're saying. I can't help you. But I'll tell you what, tell me exactly who your perfect customer is. In fact, I had the exact same conversation today with you. Tell me who your perfect customer is. And I can think about, if I can find someone, if I don't know anybody, I'll say, look, I don't know anybody, but give me your card. And if I come across someone, and I do honestly have a database of people with kind of what they're looking for, and when I meet new people, I kind of, I don't do it, my PA does it, but does a search on, what things are interesting, and we connect people. And it might be nothing in it for me at all, and it might cost me money and time, but I can guarantee you that these things come around. That you get known to be a connector, you get known to be a person that shares, you get known to be a person that does things for no other reason but we want to help you move forward. And I guarantee on the social enterprise side, the reason that social enterprise is growing is because it's a great way to do business. Okay, so this is where I have to refer to my notes. I knew there was something I forgot. Ecosystem. So the last thing I'll leave you with is a kind of a bit of a top tip is know your ecosystem. It's really easy, especially as a specialist, to kind of drill down into one particular area. So, giving you a good example. You go into a mobile phone shop and you meet a guy in a mobile phone shop. Nothing wrong with people in mobile phone shops, by the way. I owned a mobile company. But they're trained in a little box. They're trained by, this is the top 10 phones that are selling. Here's a few features about them. Here's the top price plans for retail customers. And there you go and sell some. And we'll do the bulk of our training on sales. He is not aware of his ecosystem. He's not aware of, this is why sometimes, especially as business people going to these environments, you get frustrated, because they just don't know. They know a lot about just a couple of things. So being a really, really highly sophisticated professional, you probably know a lot about your business. But as a business owner, you need to be more aware of an ecosystem. So I'll give you an example of how that works in the mobile phone industry is you go to a corporate sales guy. Okay, a corporate sales guy needs to know all the retail plans. They need to know all the phones. But beyond that, they know what the return rates on phones. They know the kind of breakdowns. How many come back for repair? What's the kind of new phones that are coming out? This is their job. They need to be competitive. So they need to know the bigger landscape. They need to know how that kind of works on a larger scale. And then you go to the CEO, who not only knows about all the technology and all the kind of pricing plans, he thinks about the globe. He thinks about our global competitors. He thinks about where new technologies are starting to rise, where the future is, okay? Now, if you're CEO of your company, what are you thinking about? Are you thinking about the technical delivery of your product? About a couple of people that maybe supply you or buy you, or competitors that are direct competitors, or are you thinking bigger than that? Because I guarantee you in this world, there's a guarantee that if you're doing the same thing now as you were last year and the year before that, you're going backwards. Because there's plenty of other smarter people, younger people, richer people, more aggressive people that are thinking about something that's next, that are starting to disrupt, if you've ever heard that word. I was an editor for Disrupts magazine, so this got me on this track. Thinking about, where is my industry going? What is the next product? What is the next evolution of what I'm doing? How does that work for customers in the future? What does the future look like for them? How is it going to be in 20 years from now? If I think back 20 years about business consultancy and where it is today, it's really different. It's a different approach. I'm different. As a human being, I'm different. What makes you think that 10, 20 years from now that your customers are going to be the same as what they are now? They want to buy the same products and operate in the same way. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Really, think about it. So have a thought for the ecosystem, have a thought for where you are in your business, in your industry, in the world, if you're a CEO. Okay, so I hope that that's helpful. Has anybody got anything interesting to ask or say, or questions or anything like that for me? Before I tell you what's possible next. Yes? No? Yes? Zane?
No.
No? Sorry? Something?
Now.
Yes, me.
You're down there.
Loud green shirt lady. Why do you have your name? Why did you pick the name of your business? Because it's my business is called Joy Factory, and I know why I named it that, so I'm interested.
It's really bizarre. My biggest company was White Star, and it had this really cool White Star logo, and then I was looking for a new logo for a company. I saw a big E. I'm very about icons and stuff, so this big red E, and I called it Red E, so it was pretty easy. But that's what I do with corporate. In fact, my biggest problem at the moment is branding, because I'm doing so many different projects. You see from the back of my car, I've got like 6 or 7 different things on.
That's what I do.
So my PR person, this is totally her fault, asked me about brand. I said, I'm struggling with branding. What do I do? How do I get something that's more about all the things I do? And she says, actually, you need to make it about you. This is very unusual for me because I don't know if to probably back me up. I'm actually quite a private person, quite a quiet person, believe it or not. So I was raised in the outback in the northwest of Australia. I mean, the real bush, like middle of nowhere, nothing. And you could drop me by helicopter in the middle of nowhere and I could find food and I could do water and catch animals and I can do the whole thing. So that gives me, it's a bit bizarre. And when I was in Silicon Valley, they called me the outback entrepreneur. And there was a bit of a jive at the time, but my PR person picked up on the story and said, actually, that's what you should call yourself. So my cards will say the outback entrepreneur. So that's my personal brand that's supposed to cover everything, if that helps you at all. And the kind of weird swirl that's on there is actually an Aboriginal symbol that I grew up in an Aboriginal community. It's about home and yeah, it's about home and a good, safe place to be. So you know, some weird stuff going on. But I'm struggling with branding. And with good branding people, please come see me. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with that. So branding, some branding advice, so some things about it being other people centered, thinking holistically. This might not be for today, but for tomorrow, being about other people, finding out what they are, asking the questions, control the conversation. Kind of be generous with other people. If you can't make a solution for them, see how you can maybe help them in the future. They will remember you. I guarantee that if I help Zane with a referral, if I help you, I was talking about giving you a referral, or Richard a referral, I can guarantee you that they'll remember me if I send them in a day or so an email with a really great referral, and then they're going to have a meeting with David Rollins, what I'm going to refer you to, and then you end up with a bit of business that's worth many millions from Zurich. You will remember me. Will you remember me if I just give you a card? Will you even call me? Will you even follow up? Probably not. So that's a great way to do business. Less numbers, more effective. From here, I'm going to Harrow Smith and Fuller Means Business tomorrow. I'm going to talk on the secrets of success. I encourage you to participate in Harrow Means Business when it's coming up at the end of the year. I personally am taking 2 stands. I think doing the mentoring piece, the one-to-ones, is really, really effective. If you're an expert, I give away 15 minutes of my time. I did it for a couple of years on 15-minute slots. And it's a great way to run a business. But the same philosophy applies. Be other people focused, give as much as you can. I personally give away about 80% of my time these days. But well financially, it's only 20% of my time. So, any more questions on where I'm done? I'm going to do some networking now. Thank you, Matthew.
That was Matthew Black
So for those that want to take
Get Ready to
can we have
Hear
2
the UK.
rows facing one another?